You know that feeling? Twice a year, we go through this bizarre ritual of changing all our clocks. We spring forward, we fall back, and I don't know about you, but I just can't shake this feeling that something about it is just plain wrong. It feels like we're fighting our own bodies. Well, it turns out that's exactly what's happening.
This quote from our source material just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? We willingly mess with our own natural rhythm, and then we're surprised when we feel completely out of whack. When you think about it, it's a totally self-inflicted problem, and the costs are way higher than you might think.
Okay, let's just dive right in with a number that should really make you pause. Get this. Heart attacks spike by a staggering 24% on the Monday right after we spring forward. Let that sink in. This isn't just some minor inconvenience. It's a literal public health crisis.
So, what is going on here? Well, one way to think about it is as the spring forward tax, a very real biological price our bodies are forced to pay for this totally artificial shift in time.
Our source describes this feeling perfectly. You know, it's not just about losing an hour of sleep. It's a jarring shock to our whole system. It's like someone grabbed our internal clock and just wrenched it forward, and it feels, like the text says, like a physical blow. And the wild part is, the data completely backs up that feeling.
Now here's where the story gets really interesting. Where did this whole crazy idea even come from? If you think it was all for the farmers or based on some grand agricultural plan, you'd be wrong. The real story is honestly so much weirder.
Let's go back to 1895. The whole thing started with a guy in New Zealand named George Hudson. And he wasn't a farmer, he was an entomologist, a bug collector. He just wanted more evening sunlight to go find insects. That's it. A few years later, a builder in England pushed the idea for more leisure time. But it didn't really catch on until World War I, when Germany adopted it to save fuel for the war effort.
And this is where you can see the huge disconnect, right? The entire idea started for a purely personal reason, more time for a hobby. Then it got repackaged under this very serious banner of national efficiency and saving resources for war. The key thing to notice is that at no point, from the very beginning, was our actual human biology even part of the conversation.
And hey, while we're on the topic of history, let's just quickly bust a huge myth. You always hear that Benjamin Franklin came up with this. Nope, not true. He wrote a satirical essay, a joke piece, suggesting that people in Paris could save money on candles if they just woke up earlier. It was sarcasm, not a serious policy proposal. Okay, so if daylight saving time wasn't designed with our bodies in mind, what exactly is it doing to our bodies? Let's get into the science of what's going on inside you, your body's own master clock.
It all comes down to our circadian rhythm. Now, that sounds complicated, but just think of it like the 24-hour operating system that's always running in the background of your body. It controls when you feel tired, when you feel awake, it even manages your hormones and metabolism. And the number one thing that sets this clock is light.
All right, I know this looks super technical, but the way it works is actually pretty cool and simple. Don't worry about the labels, I'll walk you through it. Deep inside your brain, there's a tiny little spot, the SCN, that acts as your master clock. When light comes into your eyes, it sends a direct signal to that clock. In the evening, when the light fades, the master clock tells your body to release melatonin, the darkness hormone, which is what makes you feel sleepy. Morning light comes in, and boom, it shuts that process down. Daylight saving time just throws a giant wrench into that beautiful, fine-tuned system.
And this forced mismatch creates something that scientists have a name for: social jet lag. It's a fantastic term. It means your body's internal clock is running on sun time, but your job, your school, your appointments, they're all running on clock time. You're basically living in the wrong time zone, but in their own house. And that has some serious consequences.
Yeah, this isn't just about feeling a little tired. This social jet lag comes with a real, measurable price tag for our health, our safety, everything. So let's take a look at the actual price we pay for this lost time.
This chart just says it all, doesn't it? The data is crystal clear. Study after study shows a major spike in both car accidents and workplace injuries on the Monday after we spring forward. That 1 hour of lost sleep directly leads to slower reaction times and worse judgment when we need it most.
And it's not just physical accidents. Our brains take a serious hit too. First, our attention and concentration just tank. Then our decision-making gets fuzzy. We have a harder time remembering things. And on top of all that, we get more irritable and more anxious. I mean, it's basically a recipe for a less productive, less safe, and just less happy society.
Okay,
I know, this all sounds pretty grim, but the good news is we aren't completely powerless. While we might not be able to stop the clocks from changing, we can absolutely take steps to lessen the blow and help our bodies adjust.
So here are 5 concrete things you can do. First, ease into it. Don't wait for that Sunday morning jolt. Start shifting your bedtime by 15 or 20 minutes each night for a few days before the change. Second, manage your light. Get bright sunlight first thing in the morning to tell your brain, hey, it's daytime, and definitely avoid that blue light from screens at night. Third, good old-fashioned sleep hygiene. Keep a consistent schedule in a cool, dark room. Fourth, listen to your body. Figure out if you're a natural early bird or a night owl and try to work with that, not against it. And finally, number 5, just support your body. Drink plenty of water and eat good food. Simple stuff, but it can make a huge difference.
So, after all this, it really brings us back to one central question. We've seen how this entire practice started as one person's whim, got adopted for a war, and now we know it directly clashes with a century of research into our own biology. So we really have to ask, in the 21st century, is an idea born from a 19th century bug collector's hobby still the right one for us today?